People brought up, the repeal of DACA. People also brought up equality for gender rights, things of that sort.
Correspondent Renee Marsh. Saturday marks the 98th anniversary of the Elaine massacre, in which more than 100 African-American sharecroppers from Elaine, Arkansas, were murdered by mobs after demanding better pay from white plantation owners. The ACLU is planning to sue the Trump administration over the latest version of the travel ban. The ACLU says adding North Koreans and Venezuelans to the list does not make it any less of a ban on Muslims. I'm John Matthews.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I shopped the many highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $27 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-860-6565. That's 800-860-6565. 800-860-6565. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Or price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of the staff and management of KLAY or those who advertise their products or services on this station.
Guys and dogs, cats and chicks, you're listening to Viva ENT. This is Johnny the Capo. I'm here with my pal and buddy, host of Viva ENT as well, Mr. Brad Buckles. Brad, say hi to our listeners.
Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing?
Well, I'm doing great, and I hope everybody out there is doing great, too.
It's a perfect day.
It's a beautiful day. Yesterday was gorgeous, too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. You know, if you're listening to our show for the very first time, Viva ENT, we talk events. We talk weddings. We talk events, corporate parties, that type of thing. We talk rock and roll. We talk music. And Brad is kind of an 80s kind of guy, right, Brad? Didn't you go to high school in the 80s?
Oh, yeah. That's definitely my decade.
Yeah, because you definitely know that decade really well as far as music, statistics, groups, and that type of thing, where I'm pretty much an expert in the 50s, 60s, and 70s type thing.
Yep.
And, for our listeners who don't know, Brad Buckles is the owner of Wedding Expo. And I want to congratulate you, Brad, on 2 wonderful shows that we just did, Tacoma Dome and the Linwood Everett show. It was really fun.
It was a lot of fun. They were good shows, too.
Yeah, we even had a belly dancer at that show.
We did have a... Yeah, we did.
Yes, we did. And
boy, you know somebody who can get up and dance. She's crazy.
Yeah, she's really a nice gal, too, you know.
She's wonderful, yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about Bala Jovan. And... Bala is really a classy gal, and she's very professional, and she dances for weddings, corporate parties. She travels all over the world, and I'm going to probably try to get her on the show next week as one of our featured guests.
Well, if you'll remember, we did that 50th anniversary with her.
Yeah.
She was a smash hit, man. They loved her.
Yeah, that was one of your events, wasn't it, Brad?
Yeah, it was great. We were up at, I think we were at Bear Creek Country Club.
Cool.
And lady was celebrating her 50th anniversary, very nice couple, and sat down, talked to her. She wanted to be able to bring in some dancing, wanted to teach everybody some line dancing, and I said, well, why don't we just bring up Dancing of the Era? And it was a hit. Bella was perfect. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, so anyway, if anybody's interested, it's BellaJovan, Bala Jovan. Just pump it in Google, and you'll find her.
She was great.
Yeah, she is. She's a great gal. You had a great group of vendors at both shows, and I'm looking forward to, on October 8th, being at the Maidenbauer Center.
Yep, we're coming up. It's a sold-out show. We've got all kinds of people lined up to be there, all different kinds of categories of service and products. We even have a couple of new surprises, and we'll be there on the 8th. Tickets are available at bridesclub.com.
And the doors open at 10 a.m., correct?
9:30 if you're going to be early. Yep.
Okay, I like 9:30.
That's the deal.
That is the deal, and of course, all the, January is a big month for Wedding Expo, but this is really the great opportunity for brides and planners out there that are listening to our show. This is really the last major show this year that brides that are getting married in January, February, March, April, May, and still haven't booked anything. This is the show to go to.
That's correct. This is the chance to get all those early bookings in. All those facilities will book up as the year ends, and as we get into January, it starts to get crazy, as you know.
Oh, yeah.
And Bellevue's kind of the first crack at it.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. No question about it. I got an announcement to make. I am going to be playing with Johnny and the Bad Boys, Mama Stortini's restaurant in Northgate, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's kind of going to be a different type of gig. I'm not going to be playing at my full rock throttle, but kind of background. We're going to be playing in the restaurant.
What's this, Johnny R&B?
Johnny, I'm probably going to throw in some Motown tunes.
Some blues?
Blues, rock and blues, and a little Elvis, of course. And I might even throw in a couple of Beatle tunes.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, Elvis was the blues.
Absolutely. There's no question.
If I've learned anything from you, I've picked that up.
Yeah, I definitely could sing the blues. There's no question about that. And, I failed to tell our listeners today, the album that we're going to feature today on the half hour is Revolver.
One of my favorite.
Beatles. Yeah.
Yes.
So anyway, let me finish up with the Mama Stortini thing. I'm going to be there on October 17th, which is a Tuesday night. I'm going to start at 5:30, and I'm going to play to 8 o'clock. And it's going to be good energy, but not the full rock throttle. So if you want to come in and eat some dinner and have some cocktails and listen to me sing, I do sing the hits from the 50s right on up through all the decades. So I want to ask all our listeners, if you're in the Northgate area, please come on up, listen to me, play with my band. I have the Viva Diva. We're taking the month of October off because our company, Viva Productions Vegas Nights, is slammed with events on the third Saturday of the month, which normally we do our Viva Diva Flea Market in Edmonds. November 18th, we'll be back. And, of course, December 15th, we'll be back at the Masonic Center in Edmonds, Viva Diva, Vintage Market, and more.
That's cool.
Yeah, absolutely cool.
I'm looking to see Johnny play the blues. That's what I want.
Yes, come on in. Come on in, and I'm going to feature at least a half a dozen blues tunes during that. I'm going to play two sets, and I'm definitely going to play some blues for you.
That's cool.
Absolutely. A little rocking, spine-tingling guitar there going for you.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And, of course, anybody that's out there listening, please like on Facebook Viva ENT Talk Radio. Go right on Facebook, hit a like on that. You'll see our shows there. And, of course, all our Viva ENT shows are posted on YouTube, at least not any longer than 24 hours after we do the show live. So if you miss the show and you got to go and you want to come back and listen to the Beatles or listen to what me and Brad have to say, go to YouTube, Viva ENT.
We'll get you squared away.
We'll get you squared away, that's for sure. Brad, anything other than the Wedding Expo that you wanted to tell our listeners today?
Just go to Brides Club. We've got a lot of things that are happening in the next couple of months here in the wedding industry. And the best way to kind of stay in touch with who and the what is just to go to bridesclub.com. We take a lot of time to make sure that website's up to speed, post new companies, new trends, fun things that are happening all over the place. You just can't get enough of it. You got to go to bridesclub.com and kind of keep in touch.
If any wedding vendors or people that are starting out in the wedding industry, if you're not doing the wedding expos, especially in Tacoma, Bellevue, and Linwood, depending on wherever you're at, I do all three of them, of course. But you're really missing out on the opportunity to meet face to face with potential clients, and everybody has different personalities. So the people that click with you, you got a good chance of them hiring you. The people that don't click with you, that you got a good chance of them not hiring you. But at least you're in the ball game. You're in the court. You know what I mean? And if you're not in the court, you're nowhere.
That's true.
Yeah. So any vendors that have never done a wedding expo, go to bridesclub.com. See all the upcoming wedding expos, and get your fill of knowledge about the wedding industry. Because I love Wedding Expo and I love Brides Club.
There you go. That'll work. Another
thing too, like for instance the Tacoma show, you had a mailing list from that show of almost 500 people.
Oh yeah.
So that's so if a vendor does the show, then they get the mailing list, and then they have access to, sending out their collateral to emails to potential clients, and that's a good way to book clients too.
That's true. That's a fact. And the new trends that come through, it's always interesting to kind of see what the new thing is going to be that takes the wedding industry.
Yeah.
Years ago, you can remember it was chocolate fountains.
Uh-huh.
Then photo booths came, and of course, the best way to stay up with things like that is just to go to the website and kind of see, hey, what's new, what's different. And as you do that, you'll catch all the new trends.
Yeah, it looks like the photo booth craze, which came in 4 or 5 years ago, 6 years ago, maybe even longer.
Hasn't left.
Maybe 10 years. It's going strong.
Yep, that's a fact.
Definitely going strong, and people, technology evolves where weddings, are constantly, especially in the last 4 or 5 years, things have just changing so rapidly. Case in point, I remember, because I have wedding photography with our company, Viva Productions, and people aren't even asking about books anymore, where they used to be like, how much do you feature these albums? Do you feature these books? Because it sounds to me that everybody's just content viewing images on the internet.
Oh, I believe that. Yeah, I totally believe that.
So I don't hear a lot of how do I get prints? Do you have books? That type of thing is kind of faded away, just like
in the past.
Almost, I would say, just kind of like film photography evolved into digital photography almost overnight.
Yep, that's a fact.
So, when it comes to events and weddings, it's best to deal with the pros. I know when I hire somebody to do something in my house or whatever I need, I trust the pros, and I always give them the benefit of the doubt. If something goes wrong and I'm not happy, I won't use them again. It's as simple as that. But
yep. I think most of the time too, you can rest assured that if they've got a reputation, of course, you can check them out at Yelp.
Mm-hmm.
If there's any kind of a problem, you find them on the web.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the time at the shows, you find the people that are out there really trying and working hard, and you can always rest assured that those are the safe people to hire because they're the ones that care.
Exactly, and most people in the industry, they're not going out there to mess up. That's for sure.
That's true. That's a fact. If they're trying and they're caring, it's a good bet. That's
right. So, bridesclub.com. Come to our show October 8th at the Maidenbauer Center. Doors open up at 9:30. Meet Brad. Meet Johnny the Capo. Viva Productions will be there. I'll even have a casino table there, and I might even get Bella Javon to come in. Back to that show. We'll see what happens.
You never know.
You never know, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to hear a word from our sponsors. And actually, Brad, we've been really lucky. We've had the same sponsors for years, and we've been on the air this December, 5 years with Viva ENT. And that's
amazing. Yep, that's cool.
Yeah, it is cool. It's cooler than cool. So I'm going to have our producer, Mitch, take it away. Let's have a word from our sponsors.
Yeah, you ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. Well, you ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine.
Attention business owners. Experience a new world of business with barter. The Saturn Barter Company, located in Tacoma, is one of the most beneficial business decisions you can make. Using Saturn Barter, you are able to sell your products or services to other members of the exchange. You can then use that credit you've built up from your sales to purchase the products or services you or your company needs from other companies within Saturn Barter, all without the use of cash. Contact and join Saturn Barter Club today, 253-212-9930, or online at SaturnBarter.com.
Brides, do you want your big day to be stress-free, perfect, and stay within your budget? Well, Brides Club has all the inside information to make your dream a reality. Go to bridesclub.com. That's bridesclub.com. See upcoming bridal shows and events, view wedding vendors and special offers. And don't miss The Spotlight, the premier online wedding magazine with valuable articles you can't afford to miss. Brides Club helps make your wedding stress-free and perfect. Go to bridesclub.com. Check out bridesclub.com. Life's a celebration. Grand Event Rentals makes your event their top priority. They are your full-service, special event, and party rental provider, supplying everything you need from start to finish. Their professional sales team and event staff work with you to create your dream event. With every event, Grand Event Rentals customers' needs are the most important. Whether you're planning an intimate outdoor wedding or an elaborate black tie gala, the Grand Event Rentals specialists make great pride in providing our event planning experience to help create an unforgettable event. Please go and visit the Bellevue Showroom, Grand Event Rentals, or make a one-on-one appointment. Talk to them. They're trained, they're knowledgeable, they're event specialists, and they are going to take you through step-by-step everything that you need to make your day a success. Call Grand Event Rentals. Their number is 425-462-7368, or go to grandeventrentalslaw.com.
Take it over to Maddie's Tuning and Shoreline for fast, affordable car care. Trusted, professional. Maddie's services all makes and models and has been trusted in the Puget Sound for almost 60 years. Call Brian Maddie at 206-364-3347 or stop by his convenient location in Shoreline right on Aurora at 152nd. Maddie's Tuning. Call 206-364-3347. Trusted for almost 60 years to keep you safe and on the road.
Train arrived, 16 coaches long. Train arrived.
That was the King, and I bet you couldn't tell the difference, right, listeners? We're back on the air with Viva ENT, and I'm here live on the radio with Brad Buckles, my host, co-host, host, whatever, good buddy and pal. I like to refer to Brad as the guru of weddings. Brad, say hi to our listeners.
How we doing this afternoon?
I think we're doing fine and marvelous, and what a beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day for the Beatles.
It's a beautiful day for the Beatles. Now, are the Beatles actually your favorite band of all time?
I would say so, of all time. Certainly top 2 or 3 of all time, but I would say probably most influential band of all time. I would go with that.
Well, there's no question in my mind that what you just said, most influential band of all time, I got to go with that. In my mind, there's no one even close as far as complete versatility, as far as musicianship, vocals, songwriting. They were the complete package, and of course, they were a phenomenon. And their career was as being in the limelight was only 6 years, really, because The phenomena hit February 1964. Beatles kind of broke up, or not kind of, but I'm pretty sure they broke up around 1970.
Yep.
So we only had like 6 years of a body of work from them, which is more than most bands. And of course, the Stones went on for years and years and years. But for what they did in those 6 years, they're
changed music.
Probably, without a doubt, the highest-selling band of all time, and some people argue that they could be the highest-selling artist of all time. Elvis being the other person in the equation.
Well, you remember our conversation we had several months ago on this show, in fact, about how England has the highest-selling bands and America has the highest-selling artists.
Yeah.
It's just kind of interesting that America can kick out beautiful, beautiful artists, but they can't compete with the bands of Europe. England just kicks them out. Rolling Stones being one of them.
Rolling Stones and all the great bands that have come out of Britain, since the invasion. I don't think there was a whole lot of bands we heard about before the 1964 invasion. And of course, again, in the 80s, during your...
they did it again.
They did it again, yeah.
Yeah, they called it the second invasion.
Yeah, I believe that. Now, see, I didn't really know that most of those bands, those great bands that came out in the 80s were actually from Britain. They didn't get at that particular time, I don't think they got the publicity that the Beatles and the Stones, about being British. Or maybe I just...
Oh, I think they did. I just think
huh?
it had to be... You were there. You had to be time and place. You had to be listening to certain things. But there's no question that, Duran Duran was considered the Fab Five. They were the next, the Fab Four.
Yeah.
Duran Duran and that second wave came out, and they were the Fab Five, and they certainly made their mark. But there were bands after bands after bands that came from Europe that were just, hit after hit after hit. And we've even started to see it lately now with some of the boy bands that are coming. And I'm not a huge proponent of boy bands, but, they keep coming from England, man.
England swings, man.
Yeah, I mean, even the TV programs, America's Got Talent and the likes, that all came from success in Europe.
Yes, absolutely. No question about it. They just do something over there with those bands. They just pump it out.
They know how to do it.
Mm-hmm. So now the Revolver album. The albums that the Beatles had in 1966 were Yesterday and Today, which was a collection of some older songs and some current songs. But I think and of course Rubber Soul came out in 65, but Revolver and Rubber Soul, things started changing a little bit as far as the album formula for the Beatles, but I think Revolver really kicked in the different things that were to come, like the stuff they did on Sgt. Pepper's and everything else that they did afterwards. Taxman, Paperback Writer, that album was just Good Day Sunshine. That album was just fabulous.
Oh, yeah. In fact, one of my all-time favorite Beatles songs, where is it here? I should know the name of it, but it always gets, Love You Too, Eleanor Rigby.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those are just they're not my favorite song of all time, but when you hear those songs, they're just classic. Like, you can't not totally tap your toe to that. That's incredible.
Yeah, I think Eleanor Rigby is a great song and great arrangement, great pop song, and they were really having fun in the studio with that one. There's no question about it. It wasn't really...
And then you go to a song like Tomorrow Never Knows, which is just a beautiful ballad, great lyrics, and you just sit back and go, unbelievable.
Unbelievable is right. That album was just really something. They were all in good voice, and I'm looking online right now, and I didn't know. That album cover was crazy. And it's a great cover. And it says here the album cover was designed by Klaus Vormann, and I don't know if you're familiar with Klaus, but he was a bass player, and he played on a lot of stuff. He was a session musician, and he played on a lot of stuff coming out of L.A. and out of England, and he played on John Lennon's first solo album, and just countless things. If you ever get a chance, Google him, Brad, because you'll be fascinated.
Oh, that's cool.
But he designed that cover, and I'm looking at the cover right now, and it's pretty trippy. It's a really cool cover.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was one of that, it's part of that avant-garde art music that started way back when, and just had its effect.
No.
Little psychedelic, but not quite. Very artistic, very forward-thinking.
Yeah, no question about it. So, as far as Revolver, what's your thoughts on the whole album? It's called the genre on Wikipedia. It says rock, pop, psychedelic rock.
Well, I think it definitely started the psychedelic rock.
Yeah.
It definitely changed from where the Beatles were to where the Beatles were going. When you hear a song like She Said,
mm-hmm.
That's definitely not Baby Hold My Hand. I mean, there's just a significant difference there. Not only is it showing a lot more maturity of them, but the songwriting ability, the opportunity to start playing with different sounds. Of course, the Beatles are given extremely a lot of credit in the studio for having written and played with backmasking and all kinds of stuff. But,
mm-hmm.
That's nothing new. But when you see Revolver come out, I go back and forth constantly as whether I like Revolver or Rubber Soul. And I listen to Revolver, and I'm like, no, it's definitely more rock. And then I'm like, Rubber Soul? I don't know. To me, that's the quintessential moment of the Beatles growing up.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely a good way to describe it. I really got excited when I heard the Revolver album because they were in such good voice. And then, like on Taxman, you had that distortion on the guitar, and the guitar leads weren't your typical poppy-type leads,
No, it went from fun and kind of rocky to all of a sudden serious and, like, expressionistic, like now. When he starts playing, it's just like it grabs your attention, like, what is this?
I couldn't have said that better. I'll tell you that right now. What is this is right, because it was just different, and it sounded great. And it was just amazing to watch pop music change from poppy pop to evolve into this new harder type rock, psychedelic rock, more intricate and thought out arrangements and vocals, and as far as Revolver and then evolving into Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, it was just so different that I agree with you, it changed everything.
Now, I don't know that we're going to be able to resolve this question, but I've thought many times in my life, in fact, I wrote a graduating paper on this about John Lennon or Paul McCartney being the true American composer. And, of course, the irony in that is they weren't American. But did music make the Beatles, or did Beatles make the music? And I've gone back and forth with this many times, and Taxman's a perfect example of, like, did that song create the need for what electric guitars then did, or did electric guitars create that sound? Because that is, like, perfect. There are very few songs, and I know people will disagree with me on this, but there are a few songs where you pick up a guitar and play that and go, that is a perfect rock song.
I agree. Distorted guitar had been featured somewhat, like on Satisfaction, that da-da-da-da-da, that was definitely a distorted type guitar type sound, which wasn't featured a lot pre-1965-ish, 1966.
No, nowadays you hear it a lot, and of course you can go back in time and hear various different sounds that are very expressionistic of that time period. If you go to disco, if you play, like Chic, there are certain riffs that he'll play, and you go, that is the 70s, bingo. But Taxman, a song like that, when they're coming out the way they were coming out, unbelievable.
Unbelievable is right, and who was on lead vocal? That wasn't George Harrison on lead vocal?
Taxman?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking that's Paul McCartney.
I'm thinking so too, but I'm thinking it's Harrison.
I thought Harrison only sang twice on the tracks.
No, he sang lead. Tag. I'm going to bet that was.
Well, we're going to hear it here in a minute because we're going to play the album, so we'll have to stay tuned and listen to that.
Yeah, absolutely. And as a matter of fact, I'm glad you said that because basically, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Viva ENT. This is Johnny the Capo, Brad Buckles. We have our show every Saturday at noon. You can listen all over the world at KLEY1180.com. If you're in South Seattle, Tacoma area, of course, you can hear us at KLEY 1180 AM. And the Sgt. Pepper's album is about 30 minutes plus. So we're going to dedicate our show, Viva ENT, to the Beatles today, to the Revolver album. And Brad, do you have anything to say before we go to commercial break? Because you and I are pretty much going to sign off right now.
Yeah, we're going to sign off and start listening to the song is what I'm thinking. I'm about ready to jump in my car and throw in the CD and go for a little bit of a drive.
That sounds good, man. Have a nice drive in that Porsche you have.
I will. It sounds really good with the Beatles playing.
I would say you'll be driving the Porsche and I'm going to be driving the Chevy van.
There you go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to Viva ENT. Please enjoy the Beatles, Revolver. Like our Facebook page, and if anybody out there that listens to our show wants to hear a particular album or would like us to feature an album, let us know. Facebook us. Let us know. We can like Viva ENT Talk Radio. Don't forget Bride Club. Don't forget Johnny the Capo at Mama's Tortini's on October 17th, 5:30 start time. We'll dig you now and see you later because you are a fine sweet potato. Thank you so much, folks.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. Well, you ain't never gonna rap it, and you ain't no friend of mine.
Is your vehicle needing some attention? Take it over to Maddie's Tuning and Shoreline for fast, affordable car care. Trusted, professional. Maddie's services all makes and models and has been trusted in the Puget Sound for almost 60 years. Call Brian Maddie at 206-364-3347 or stop by his convenient location in Shoreline right on Aurora at 152nd. Maddie's Tuning. Call 206-364-3347. Trusted for almost 60 years to keep you safe and on the road.
This is Johnny the Gangster with Viva Productions, King of Entertainment. One-stop shop for all your entertainment needs. We have DJ service for weddings, corporate, and private events. Thrill your guests with Vegas Nights Casino Party, blackjack, craps, roulette, poker, and more. We also have event photography and limousine service. Call Viva Productions, 206-542-5733, or find us at viva-productions.com. A little less conversation, a little more action, you got it. Call Johnny the Gangster. I'll make you a deal you can't refuse.
Brides, do you want your big day to be stress-free, perfect, and stay within your budget? Well, Brides Club has all the inside information to make your dream a reality. Go to bridesclub.com. That's bridesclub.com. See upcoming bridal shows and events, view wedding vendors and special offers. And don't miss The Spotlight, the premier online wedding magazine with valuable articles you can't afford to miss. Brides Club helps make your wedding stress-free and perfect. Go to bridesclub.com. Check out bridesclub.com.
Attention business owners. Experience a new world of business with barter. The Saturn Barter Company, located in Tacoma, is one of the most beneficial business decisions you can make. Using Saturn Barter, you are able to sell your products or services to other members of the exchange. You can then use that credit you've built up from your sales to purchase the products or services you or your company needs from other companies within Saturn Barter, all without the use of cash. Contact and join Saturn Barter Club today, 253-212-9930, or online at saturnbarter.com.